At the end of last month, two nursing home residents in Los Angeles who had just been discharged from the hospital began showing coronavirus symptoms. So their nursing home, Briar Oak on Sunset, isolated those two residents and tested them. And when their tests came back positive, Briar Oak decided that they were going to test all the staff in their facility who had been in contact with those two residents, even though none of the staff were showing symptoms. Even though none of the staff were showing symptoms, 15 of those staff tests came back positive. According to Briar Oak's director of clinical operations, quote, with that number of positives, now you have to be concerned about the possible exposure of everybody. Now, the problem, of course, is that Briar Oak couldn't test everybody. Despite being the place where the most Americans are dying from coronavirus, nursing homes have largely been on their own as individual facilities in terms of trying to get a hold of tests for their residents and their staff. So pretty much no one at any facility anywhere could test everybody. But some nursing home leaders in L.A. were trying. And it turns out there was a larger long-term care facility, the Los Angeles Jewish Home, that had managed to get itself several hundred coronavirus tests from the city. And the L.A. Jewish Home agreed that they would give this other facility, Briar Oak, enough tests to screen all their residents and all of their staff, which was a really stand-up thing for them to do. And Briar Oak was able to then do all that testing, and what they found, well, curl your hair. 75% of the residents had the virus, 90% of the staff had it as well, which meant that Briar Oak immediately became possibly the worst outbreak in the entire state of California. As of today, 77 residents and 70 staff at Briar Oak have tested positive for the virus. 3 of their residents have died. But the key here is that this one nursing home appears to have this extra terrible, significantly worse outbreak than other facilities. But maybe that's because they're the only one that tested everybody, right? And the only reason they were able to test anybody is because of this sort of accidental circumstance in which they got this incredibly neighborly help from a nearby facility. I mean, maybe if every nursing home had universal testing, we would discover that lots and lots of places are as bad as Briar Oak, and we could get them resources to try to deal with their problems. You know, we'd at least be able to see the scale of the problem that clearly needs to be tackled in these facilities where the most Americans are the most at risk of death.